Yo, what's good YouTube, man? It's your boy DK here, back with another banger. And in today's video, man, we're going to be doing a Purdue tour of the entire campus, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so excited to show you guys Purdue's beautiful campus on game day. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the video. All right, this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the gateway to the future. This arc right here is pretty much like an iconic place, the starting point of our tour. And we're going to be walking down the stadium mall and hopping right into it. All right, so the first spot on our tour today is the new Armstrong building. And this is kind of one of the most iconic places on our tour. Pretty much the most like memorable place. Like when you look up Purdue, I feel like the Armstrong building pops up. So let's hop right into it. All right, so right here, ladies and gentlemen, we're inside the new Armstrong building. This one right here is home to all of the aerospace and aeronautical engineers. There's also the Ethics Laboratory to our left. If you want to pan over to our left, we have the Ethics Laboratory where you guys can work on cool little projects for the community. As a freshman, I actually built my own website. And we built like Duolingo, but for like children in Africa to like help them learn how to speak English. Also downstairs, there's actually a cafe that you guys can hit up as well. We might get some background footage of that for you guys. All right, so this is Armstrong 1010, and this classroom right here is pretty much like the biggest lecture hall in the Armstrong building. And right now I actually have a class called Data Structures, and it kind of always ends up that all of my hardest classes are in Armstrong 1010. So if I see this class on my schedule, I know I'm cooked for the semester. But as a freshman, or just if you're coming to Purdue, you'll more than likely have a class in here. This is kind of one of the smaller lecture halls, so it just really depends on your major. All right, so this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is Hampton Hall. This is for all my civil engineers. So if you like building roads, constructing bridges, this is pretty much like the spot for you right here. So the Hampton Hall of Civil Engineering is ranked top 5 in undergrad and graduate schools. So if you guys are looking to do civil engineering, this is definitely the school to go to. All right, so the Fording Hall of Chemical Engineering is ranked top 20 in the nation. This hall right here, I've never personally been inside, but I know the chemical engineering program at Purdue University is definitely a really good program. All right, so right here is the Hall of Data Science and AI, and this building was under construction for probably like the last 2 years, and I honestly just stumbled across it. I didn't even know we had this building, which I think is like one of the coolest buildings around. If you guys look at like the architecture too, I think it really just highlights like the Purdue aesthetic with like the brick buildings and just keeps like that old vibe, but I think they added like a little modern twist that I really enjoy. All right, so this right here behind me is the engineering fountain. It's kind of the centerpiece of campus. It's like smack dab in the middle. To our right, it's like where we just came from with all the engineering classes. And then to the left, we have more engineering classes as well. Like we have the mechanical engineering building, electrical engineering building right behind me, which we're gonna go hit up later in the video. But if you guys are a freshman, you guys actually get to run through the fountain during BGR. So if you guys get the opportunity, I would definitely recommend doing BGR. All right, so right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the Dudley and Lambertus Hall right behind me. This building was built my freshman year, so 2023, and it's one of the newer buildings on campus. It features a lot of the new and innovative things that Purdue is doing. I guess like 3 big main projects that you guys can find in here is all the learning communities. So like the National Society of Black Engineers, MEP, Scale is in here, and a lot of your first year engineering classes will be located in this building. All right, so this lab right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the 3D Printing Club lab. As you guys can see, we have over, I don't even know, 20 3D printers in this space. Right here is probably one of my favorite pieces, the Mandalorian helmet. I'm a big Mandalorian fan, big Star Wars fan, and I think this is one of the coolest pieces that someone has made in this area. All right, so this room right here is kind of your typical study room. for like any of like the study rooms that you guys will find in Lambertus. So as you guys can see, we have comfortable like seating chairs. We got like a mini table if you're just trying to chill. Over here is pretty much like a space where like if you want to lock in, I'm pretty sure these tables actually like rise and like lower. As you guys can see, Purdue spends a lot of money on like the study spaces and stuff like that. If you guys look at the board over here, this is like a classic example of like a classic thing you'll see like just randomly on a whiteboard. People are studying for 2K1. This is one of the most infamous classes pretty much at this school. Like I'm pretty sure like the pass rate's a little over 50%. So if you're in engineering and you're pretty much in like electrical, computer, mechanical, and you gotta take 2K1, I'm gonna pray for you guys in the chat, bro. This right here is Knoy. This is the Polytech school. So this is where all of the Polytech labs are and recitation. So if you're in that school, this will pretty much be your home for the next 4 years. All right, so right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the Brown Hall of Electrical Engineering, AKA BHEE. And of course, for engineers, we all call it BHEE because we like to shortcut everything. We like our acronyms, man. And right here is where all of like the menacing labs at Purdue are. I mean, they're not menacing, but they're gonna be where you spend a lot of your time. Let's just hop right into it. Let's get inside real quick and let's see what we're doing. I think it's low-key live. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Nah, I'm just playing with y'all. We got the password. We're hopping right in, man. We're getting right into it. All right, so right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the Keysight lab, aka 2K7 lab. And this one right here is one of the introductory like circuit courses that you guys will have at Purdue University. All of these bench tops, as you guys can see, all of these bench tops, Keysight donated all of these equipments for every single student in this lab, which is really generous of them. And that's why this is called the Keysight Laboratory. If we step on down just a little bit farther, as you guys can see right here, you guys have this speaker that you guys will be able to use for your final project. And you guys will be building like these high pass, low pass, and mid pass filters. It's a pretty fun final project. I mean, it's pretty time consuming and you might lose a couple years off your life, but I mean, it's still a pretty fun class. It's not hard. I would just say it's really time consuming. Right here, I'm just gonna go like briefly just in depth of all of these tools. Since I'm a computer engineer, I can definitely speak and resonate with these instruments. So right here, we have the oscilloscope. And we don't have anything plugged up, obviously, but this is a really nice tool, really fancy. If you guys go out into industry, they still have like the old-fashioned oscilloscopes made in like 1999. So like you're dang near chilling with these fancy ones. Like it really doesn't get any much better than this. Right here is pretty much like a DC power supply, so you can configure it. 3 channels that you're able to hook up with your positive power and negative power. Up here is a waveform generator, so if you're trying to do like AC power, you got the square wave, sine wave, all of that stuff you guys can configure. And then right here is a big boy DMM. This one's really nice, I'm not gonna lie, really fancy. And just getting used to all of these and getting, being able to use like this really expensive equipment at Purdue University is definitely like a really big plus and a really huge reason why you guys should come here. Right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the ECE shop, which is pretty much like a staple for all of like ECE and like home projects. Right now, we can't go inside. We're here on the weekend, so it's not open, but they have like a 3D printer. They have resistors, capacitors, just any like home labbing little like trinkets that you guys could use in your circuit. You can find them in here. Just a little bit more down the hallway, we have the HKN lab, which is kind of like the ECE, like personal like shop. Like if you guys can see kind of in the back, we have like a drink bar, we have snacks, we have candy, stuff like that. I might come back and get some B-ground when it's actually open, but this is just a fun little place. If you guys are just chilling or just need like a light snack or a place to chill out, this is definitely the place to go. All right, so right here is the Sky Bridge, ladies and gentlemen. And this is like a cool little like feature that I didn't even know existed until like pretty much the end of my time as a freshman. This Sky Bridge pretty much links 3 like main buildings at Purdue. So it links the BHEE, the building that we were just in, and then there's the material science building, which we're gonna head to right now. And it also connects to the physics building, and I'm gonna show you guys that right here. All right, this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the MSEE, AKA the Material Science and Electrical Engineering Building. And this is the main atrium where a lot of kids study throughout the week. To my left over here, we have our own personal Starbucks, and it's kind of like the hub for electrical and computer engineers. We're gonna head over to the design studio and we're gonna show you guys a little bit of footage there. All right, so right here behind me is the Purdue bell tower that rings after class is over and on the top of the hour. A cool little thing that I learned about the Purdue bell tower is that instead of having IV on the clock, we have 4 I's instead because it looks like IU. And then a neat little superstition is that if you guys walk under the tower, you guys will not graduate in 4 years. Could be 3, could be 5, but you just never know. All right, so this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is WALC, AKA the Wilmuth Active Learning Center. And this right here is one of the best study spots on campus and the last stop for our tour. This right here, people stay up till like 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning studying for their exam the next day. So this place is definitely a spot you guys need to try out.